Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Cook, and today we're going to look at some resources on genealogy. We're specifically going to look at the Lexington Public Library and what they have to offer. So for genealogy, they offer Ancestry Library Edition, Central Kentucky Cemeteries Maps, Find a Grave, Heritage Quest Online, America's Obituaries and Death Notices, and then for local history, they provide Kentucky News Sources, Lexington Herald Leader, and the Local History Index. So we're going to start by navigating to the Lexington Public website. So it's going to be lexpublib.org. We're going to go to the library website. We're going to go to Collections and Genealogy and Local History. And from there we're going to scroll down to the genealogy selection and click on Find a Grave. And there are a couple things that I really like about this website is that it's free to use, and there's actually a lot of stuff that you can use on this website. We're going to go ahead and start with the memorial section, which is essentially that first page there, but just to give you an idea, we'll click on that and search, and we're going to search for my grandmother. And I don't know the year she was born or the exact year that she died, but I do know that it was in New Jersey. So we're going to go ahead and search that. And there are 31 results, which is it's not a lot, and we can either scroll through and try to find the correct one, or I can come back and refine the search, which is what I'm going to do. I know she died sometime after I graduated high school, so we can change this to after that year and search and see what it limits the search to. So we've got 2. I know this one here on top is her because her maiden name was Sutter, and she went by the nickname Cookie. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and we can kind of just search through. Hers doesn't offer a lot of information. The birth is unknown, the death is just the year, and then the place of the burial. So I'm actually going to go back and search another person. We're going to look up Preston Griffith, and I know he was in Kentucky. And his actually produces a lot more information, and I just want to give you an idea of the type of information that could potentially be pulled. So there's only one. We're going to go ahead and click on him. And it provides a lot of information: his birth date, his death date, where he's buried. There's several photos that have been posted on here of his gravesite, as well as pictures of himself. And the one thing I really like about this is that it lists family members. So you have one of his parents listed, you have his spouse, you have some of his siblings, and it may not list everybody, but it gives you a good starting point if you're looking for genealogical information and creating a family tree. The other thing you can do is search by cemetery, and you can search for a specific cemetery. If you want to, you can add a cemetery if you find that there's one not on there. For this search, we're going to look at the Lexington Cemetery, and then we want to make sure that we're looking in Kentucky in case there are other Lexington cemeteries. So that produces 3 results. We're just going to go ahead and look at this first one here, and it gives you a lot of information. So it gives you the location, the phone number if you want to call if you have questions, and even the website. Find a Grave has over 47,000 memorials that people have listed on here, and 70% of those are photographed, which is really cool. You can search specifically for the Lexington Cemetery if you're looking for a specific person that's buried there. And what's really cool is that it also lists famous memorials. So like U.S. Congressman Milton Barlow, who was an inventor, other U.S. congressmen that are buried at this site. We're also going to take a look at the Famous tab. So you can search for famous people's grave sites, and you can see I've searched for a few recently. We'll take a look at Harriet Tubman. So what's really cool about this is, say you have an idol that you really want to pay your respects to that have passed. You can look them up, and it'll give you all kinds of information on them. It'll tell you where they're buried. So for Harriet Tubman, she's buried at Fort Hill Cemetery in Auburn, New York. The plot number, so she's in West Lawn C, lot 439. So if I wanted to go visit her grave and pay respects to her, lay some flowers on her grave, I could go do that. And that's one of the really cool things. And the final thing that you can do with this site and contribute. So like where I looked up Catherine Cook, there wasn't a lot of information. I could upload a photo if I wanted to. If I reached out to other family members, I could get more information on her, like siblings, her children, and I could list that on there so that the next time someone were to search for her, they'd be able to pull that information and be able to have that information for a family tree or genealogical research or whatever they needed it for. And if you ever run into any troubles, there is a help button down here that has commonly asked questions, and there also is a tutorial button which will help you. They're little snippets, a lot of them are about 20 seconds to walk you through a lot of the different things on this site, like how to add a memorial or upload a picture or things like that. And that's just a short tutorial on how to use Find a Grave. And if you all have any questions, just reach out to me on my website. Thanks.